morning everyone. Happy Tuesday, the 4th of July. How are we into July already? Time is just absolutely flying. I know it's a little bit chillier this morning, but I hope that we're all safe and well, and those that couldn't be with us get well soon, and those that are on holidays have a fabulous time. A fantastic weight loss, lots of awards given out this week, lots of paper clips, pound for pound, lots of £7 stickers and stone for stone. So well done everyone. If we didn't have a great week and we might have stayed the same, which is extremely hard to do, to stay the same, it's not easy task, or that we might be up a couple of pounds, that's okay. This is a new week to press restart and let's go and let's refocus for the next 7 days. Start as we mean to go on, be a good starter and an even better finisher. But we are doing it fantastic, as I said. I know some of us so far this week have let me know that you've had a tough week. Life has come in, which is unfortunate. So I do hope that you're all okay. Well done on getting to your class, and hopefully today is a brighter day. And unfortunately it does just come in us like that. We don't even see where it's coming from sometimes, and I don't even know if we could see it coming, whether we'd be better prepared for it. But take care of yourselves, mind yourselves. You know who I'm talking about. This week's talk is titled Hormones That Affect Your Weight. So those lovely little things called hormones, that is for men and women. It's a part one of a two-part series talk. So next week is obviously going to be part two in class. So basically hormones are important substances that serve as chemical messengers in your body. Okay, so they basically play a part in everything. I'd say 99% of how the body functions. And that's why from day to day, you could feel really high, feel low, all that could happen within the same 10 minutes, and that is all down to our hormone level. So it's no harm getting it checked every so often through a blood test, just to know where we're standing with our doctor. They facilitate basically nearly every bodily function and process, including our metabolism. So as we get older, yes, our metabolism slows down because we're not just as go, we're not as active, we're a little bit more laid back, I hope, about things. Hunger is in there, and our fullness. Sometimes we might say I'm ravenous, or sometimes we might say, God, I'm stuffed like a pig. These are phrases that we could use. Again, these are all hormone related, and as I said, this talk is for men and for women. So because the association that they play with appetite, some hormones, they also play a significant role in our body weight. Okay, so hence why we're talking about it at a Slim for Life class. So up first, what you have is insulin. So insulin is the main storage hormone in your body. It's produced by your pancreas. Basically, it promotes storage of glucose, which is a simple sugar that you can find in food, in the muscles. You get it from food stores, in the muscle, the liver and the cells for later use. So how you're going to use that sugar that we take in from food, how the body's going to use it for energy then throughout the day. But it does store it in small amounts throughout the day and larger amounts after meals as when it be high. So insulin resistant is a fairly common condition that causes cells to stop responding to insulin, hence type 2 diabetes, type 1 diabetes. Again, type 1 is hereditary, type 2 is generally caused by having too much weight, but the beauty about that is type 2 can be reversed. Okay, so the pancreas then produces even more insulin in an attempt to boost glucose absorption when we are insulin resistant. So really what it is, and what we need to do is just watch our sugars, make sure that we eat regularly is really important, not to go longer than 2.5 hours without eating, because then we take a dip in sugar and the blood sugar start going a little bit haywire. So it's a little like you might say it's the 11 a.m. slump or the 3 p.m. slump. That's not actually the case. It could be that you're just not after eating regularly. As I say, no longer than 2.5 hours is really, really important. But next hormone you have in there is number 2, which is leptin. So leptin is a fullness hormone that basically works by sending a signal to the brain that regulates appetite, and it says that you're full. So it's a little like when you're in a restaurant or a coffee shop. Sometimes I love, after my main course, I love to say to them, just let me food settle, but they're kind of straight over and they say, do you want a tea and coffee and dessert menu? Because they know if they leave that 15 minutes, they are going to miss a sale, because you start to feel full and the goo generally tends to go off us. So that's how long it takes after eating, 20 minutes for when food hits the stomach for the signal to go to the brain to say that we're full and to say that we're satisfied. So that's their hormone leptin. So you can see why it's hugely associated with weight, or can affect our weight. But again, if we're leptin resistant, this means the message to stop eating doesn't reach the brain and eventually causes us to overeat, okay, because we don't give it long enough. Remember, your stomach is the size of your fist closed, so that's why it's important that we let it go to its original size rather than keep filling it with food and then it expands. And then when we start watching what we eat, we tend to feel more hungry because the stomach is trying to come back to its original size. Next, what you have is number 3. So this is your hormone called ghrelin. So this is an essential, but it is the opposite of leptin. So what this one does, it's the hunger hormone that sends a message to your part of your brain indicating that your stomach is empty and therefore needs food, and its main function is to increase appetite. Okay, so sometimes we don't need more of that. Remember, with all hormones, like with insulin, like with leptin, like with ghrelin, we do need a certain amount. Okay, like with everything in life in moderation, but too much or too little is obviously where the danger comes in there. So basically, ghrelin levels are the highest before eating and the lowest after a meal. Okay, so people with obesity may become more sensitive to the effects of the hunger hormone ghrelin. Research shows that maintaining a moderate body weight and prioritising sleep helps well with managing this particular hormone. Okay. Next, we have number 4 is cortisol. So this is your stress hormone. This is very much related to this saying fight or flight. So it is known as a stress hormone, and it is produced by the adrenal glands. That's why our adrenaline can run high. Say when we get a fright or different things, that cortisol hormone, again, we do need a certain amount of it. During times of stress, this hormone triggers an increase in heart rate, so obviously when the adrenaline is on high, and also your energy levels. So the release of cortisol alongside adrenaline within the body is commonly called a fight or flight response. Okay, so we'd all be familiar with that, and we did have a specialised talk on that particular phrase there last year. So it is important for your body to release cortisol in dangerous situations, but chronic levels, and sometimes we can't avoid chronic levels. It's life, stress. Life is so stressful at the moment that we just need to take it down a notch. We need to ground ourselves. We need to practice our mindfulness. Eliminate stress where you can. I'm sure we all thought when we were younger, when you'd hear people say stress kills, you'd say, sure, how would stress kill? I used to think if I was really stressed, I'd be really skinny. That's not the case. We'd actually put on more weight when we're stressed. But stress does kill, as we tend to learn as we get older when we're stressed. Sometimes I just say to Sam, I feel like I'm plugged into the electricity, that I feel I'm that stressed or maybe that wired. So it is important for me. I'm really practicing on that one. And again, that can just be life coming in on us. But it is important just to ground yourself. As I said, practice that mindfulness is really important, because it can be very dangerous to the body. It can make the brain shut down, hence why people have mental breakdowns. Sometimes it can be like a fuse board that's going on within the body, and the body finds it very hard to break down food when we're highly strung, and generally when we're stressed we reach for the wrong foods as well. So lifestyle factors are really important with cortisol, because it can be dangerous, and the dangerous situation can be heart disease, diabetes, low energy levels, high blood pressure, sleep disturbance, and also weight gain, as I said, because generally when we're stressed we reach for the wrong type of foods. Our last one in this series of talk is estrogen. So again, men do have this female hormone, is the sex hormone. Obviously women have more of it. Basically it's responsible for regulating the reproductive systems, obviously, as well as the immune, skeletal and vascular systems. That's what estrogen does. Levels of hormones change throughout a woman's life. Also this hormone will change in men throughout life, basically through pregnancy, through nursing, menopause and menstrual cycle. So high levels of estrogen are often seen in people with obesity. The reason why, they're associated with an increased risk of certain cancers and other chronic diseases. So really it is important that we keep an eye on that. Again, your doctor will be able to check it out on a blood test. So individuals with low estrogen then often experience central obesity, which is weight around the trunk, so around the middle parts of the body, and that's why it's dangerous, because that's where all the vital organs are within the body, obviously. So it can lead to those different high blood sugars, high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke is all in there. So the main things that we need to really, tips to maintain healthy levels of all of these hormones, is really important to get that balance, is to have good quality sleep. So what the HSE is now recommending, good quality over quantity, because they realise that most Irish people, we just don't get enough sleep, but quality sleep is better. And to have maybe a little rest during the day, put the feet up, no phone, no TV, and just to switch off the mind is really important. Manage our weight, okay, follow the food pyramid is really important, and also to maintain a healthy weight. Exercise regularly, that's really key. Find some type of exercise that you enjoy. As I said, really make sure that we're following the food pyramid. Watch our portion sizes as well, especially for weight around the middle, would be key in there for me. Good quality sleep, maintain the weight. As I said, eat regularly is key. So as I've said at the beginning, and I also went maybe to town on in the classes, is to go no longer than 2.5 hours. Obviously I can cover more of a talk in class. The YouTube video is a certain amount of time, but to eat regularly is really key. Not to go long gaps, because then again you're knocking your metabolism out, you're slowing it up, you're raising your blood sugar levels as well. So again, these are two very important hormones that do affect our weight. So eat little and often. Definitely work on that 2.5 hours, because generally when we leave it longer, we have a bigger meal then, and we're kind of then grazing throughout the day because our blood sugars have spiked and they're a little bit off. So we need to watch that one. So basically that's it about our hormones. As I said, we will finish this talk next week on our part 2. Make sure that we're having omega-3 as well, which is good for if we are insulin resistant, because fatty acids is good. We can get it in foods such as salmon, mackerel and sardines. We would need to have 3 servings of that a day though. So I hope that's helped, because it does explain a lot of those hormones that do affect our weight and why we need to watch them and keep an eye on them throughout our life because they do constantly change. So I hope it's been informative. You know the drill. Any positive or negative feedback, please get in touch. I want to welcome our new members to the group. It's great to have you on board. It's my pleasure to support you on your journey. We are doing absolutely fantastic as a group. And just as I got to share last night, thank you for choosing Slim for Life, number one. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your journey. Remember that I am your biggest supporter and that I have your back. I want you to succeed and I want to be there to see you succeed. So remember, that's why I'm here. I want us all to have a fantastic week. Let's see less of each other next week. And big hugs and kisses to all.